Well, before we get started, we do have lots of earnings also this week, starting with Monday morning before opening. You can see we have McDonald's, Shopify, Coca-Cola. We also have Upstart, DoorDash, Lyft. Then we also have CBS. You can see Datadog, Coinbase, Twilio, John Deere. So lots of earnings again this week. Now, on top of that, what we got here, you can see that inflation data also coming out, that CPI on Wednesday. And I'm telling you guys, with all that, a tariff war and everything that is happening, this might come in a little bit low, but later on, you're going to see a massive jump. That is what's coming, unless we go and stop all this tariff and all that, inflation definitely will come right back up, hunting people once again. Welcome back, everybody, to the daily show where we discuss and do technical analysis on big mega cap stocks. So, before we get started, please smash that like button, and 100 plus likes on this video would be greatly appreciated, guys. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Now, if you want to support the channel and get my daily trade ideas, my swing trade ideas, live trading, and all kinds of setups, definitely check out their link down below in the description for Patreon. And now let's get right into it, guys. On Apple, stock is down 2.40% on Friday. So Apple going down and taking out this critical support right here at 230. And now you can see it's definitely looking like it's a bear flag right here. If this thing were to come down a little bit more and possibly takes out bottom of this candle, which is 225, you're going to see a dump off down to 220. And possibly this gap comes into play right here at 216.90. Now, to the upside, resistance will be at 230, right here at 231.35, these moving averages, and then this thing can push higher back up to 237. Until then, I mean, Apple definitely, we do not have a bull trend on Apple stock, guys. Let me be clear right here. You can see white line 20-day, orange line 13-day, and the 5-day all crossed below the 50-day moving average. Red line, and that is not a bull trend on Apple stock, even though we saw a big bounce, and now it's selling off once again. So Apple, you got to be really careful picking up these dips that we're getting here on Apple. I think a better opportunity will come on Apple stock if this thing drops a bit more, maybe around 200, 207. That would be a fantastic opportunity to go long here on the stock. Here's my X account, and if you guys are on there, definitely give me a follow. And I want to share some fantastic trade ideas with you guys in this video. And let's just share one that has actually really low risk and high reward. You can see Uber, it actually dropped on the 5th. Earnings came out, it came down. We bought at $64, and now you can see only bought 300 shares. And this thing went to the moon already. So this was a really nice setup on Uber that we played, just holding overnights, and that's somebody's weekly paycheck right here, just from 300 shares, guys. Just 300 shares, no risk, nothing, just good old shares buying and holding overnight. Now this was from today, Friday, and you can see I got in here on Meta at 723. Meta was trading at 723, got 690 puts on Meta, and this thing also paid, I think it was like 50, 55%. But this was the biggest trade right here, guys. On SPY, you can see these levels came out pre-market before opening at 9:38 a.m. This is where I got in. It was trading at 608 pretty much exactly. 603 2DT, 2 days to go, expiration. And then what happened? Massive move here on SPY. It came down significantly, and we made money on that trade. So it was a really fantastic trade idea. So all these trades, and especially now that I'm doing these trade ideas for serious people. If you're really one of those guys out there, or even ladies, you're serious about trading and you want to become a better trader, you want to learn, then definitely it's worth every penny. Check out my link down below in the description for Patreon, and make sure you go for that Premium Plus membership. On Tesla, stock is down 3.39%, and it was down once again Friday, right after closing another 1%. And you can see, we talked about it in my video, that whenever you see a big name like Tesla hitting a support level multiple times, it can break, and definitely did right here. We broke under 375. This, wedging pattern definitely not working out, and now we are below this trend line and the support level 375. So now that's going to act as a resistance here on Tesla. It's getting a bit oversold on daily time frame. So if you're new money short here, there is no opportunity. Try to see if you can go long here on Tesla. And opportunities I see, if this thing already at the gap fill here right after closing on Friday, 358. So if we actually open here tomorrow or maybe down here at 345, that's going to be an opportunity to possibly go on long here on Tesla. To the upside, resistance will be at 375 since we broke down here. And if we can actually stay over that, then there is a chance this thing come back up, possibly up to 393 to even 400 to 401 to close this gap to the upside. But be careful, especially if this thing goes through these gaps like they're not even there. This thing can dump even more, possibly down to 330, even 325. On Meta, it's absolutely flat on the day, and you guys saw that play on Meta. It was really nice. And this thing here, actually, we showed it at 722.23. We got 690 puts on it, and this thing definitely paid. I think it was like 55% on Friday. And now you can see this thing did close over 5-day moving average, which is sitting at 707, pretty much right here. So 707, that's going to be a critical line in the sand, and you can see multiple rejection here as well. If this thing breaks through that level, the next support will be at 700 and then 682. To the upside, trading into blue skies and a brand new all-time high even on Friday. And if this thing wants to continue this rally, if there is more catalyst, well, definitely it can go up to 737 to 740. This is how far this upper Bollinger Band already expanded, you can see. So if this thing wants to run, maybe comes down to this 5-day moving average and finds buyer, it can continue to push even higher. On Microsoft, it's down 1.46%. So when you look at these names like Apple, Microsoft, Tesla breaking down, Google, another one breaking down, and market is still trading near all-time highs. Don't get me wrong. It came down Friday just a tiny here. This is not a pullback. That I would be really concerned. But what I'm concerned about here, that you can see Microsoft actually made a lower low here on Friday, taking out all these lows down here that we got recently, and that is actually a new low. And look at the Bollinger Band pointing down actually under 400. So if this thing wants to continue to the downside, it can definitely come down a bit more, easily down to 400. So watch out. Now it's not even holding 413. If this thing can get over 413, holds above 413, then we can possibly come back up to right here at 420 and possibly higher from there. But we're nowhere near 420, so I'm not even going to go that far. So watch out now. Critical line in the sand will be down here at 400 for Microsoft. And if this thing comes down here, that might be a better opportunity here on the stock to go long. On Amazon, stock is down 4% with earnings on Thursday. Friday was a bad day for Amazon. It came down, and you can see now it's trading below 230, but not by that much. So if this thing wants to continue to the downside, it can. The next big level of support will be down here at 225, and this thing can continue down to 220, down to 216, and then gap fill reversal at 214. These are strong levels of support to the downside. To the upside, resistance will be at 230, and if we can get over that, watch out for 233, and then right here on top, this gap, 236 on Amazon. On Google, stock is down over 3%, but Google came all the way down to 185. It was getting really overextended to the downside, came back up just a tiny bit, and now trading at 187. So Google getting a bit oversold also on daily time frame. If this thing wants to make a move back up, watch out for the resistance at 190 to 191 50-day moving average. Over that, we might see a move up to 196 to 197 to retest these moving averages right here and possibly close some of that gap to the upside. Now if this thing does not get a bounce, then the next critical support will be down here around 184, and then the gap down here comes into play 178 on Google. On AMD, it's down 2.36%. So AMD again down on Friday, and we saw that move back up to the upside just after earnings. But you can see it actually faded with all that tariff news and the market selling off on Friday. This thing came down, but we did not take out this low down here, 106.50. So this is going to be a critical line in the sand. If you're a new buyer here and you're buying maybe a short-term swing trade, I would put a stop at 106. If this thing takes out 106, buy back later at a cheaper price, maybe at 100 or below that. But I'm telling you guys, AMD, we have a strong bear trend right now, but this trend will be over just like some of the other trends that we had before on AMD and Nvidia, and then this thing will resume that rally back up to the upside, and you're gonna miss out on that dip. So this is fantastic opportunity to go long here on AMD, and we are actually long here on the stock. And I'm actually willing to buy even more if this thing comes down lower than this low down here, 106.50. Now, resistance to the upside will be at 110, 112.70, 5-day moving average, and then this gap fill reversal to the downside can happen also near 115. If we can stay over 118, that would be more bullish on AMD, and this downtrend might break at that point, but we're nowhere near 118. But I think this is a fantastic opportunity. People that are looking to, buy something long, and when you look at some of the other names, trading at 1,000, 6, 700, and this thing is actually dying. So this is fantastic opportunity, but this is not something you can flip it overnight and get out. AMD on a strong daily downtrend until it's over, you're not going to make money. So if you're only going long, then this is fantastic opportunity for you to go long here on AMD. So Netflix staying flat on Friday got up to a brand new all-time high, 1,027. And look at this Bollinger Band. It's not a guarantee that it's gonna go there, but you can see expanded up to 1,076 almost. So if this thing wants to run, you can see it's a strong uptrend here on Netflix. It's trading over 1,000. Now there will be support at 1,003 and then 1,000 flat. If this thing can stay over that, definitely we have a shot where this thing can move up even higher. The next step will be retesting these highs right here, 1,027.28, and possibly can make it move up to 1,050 to 1,075 to 76. That's how far upper Bollinger Band expanded. Now to the downside, if this thing breaks below 1,003 to 1,000, then the next support will be down here at 985, and then this thing can come down a bit more, and we can talk about it in another video, but it's nowhere near 985. So I'm not gonna go that far and try to find where this thing is heading. It's a strong uptrend, exactly opposite of AMD right here on Netflix. On Nvidia stock, it's actually green on Friday. Surprisingly, everything went down, including the market, and Nvidia lives on another green day. So Nvidia, you can see we actually made a higher high. If you look at it from last few days of trading, we took out top of this candle and we got up to 130, and now it's trading near 130. So Nvidia breaks 130, definitely this gap comes into play, which is at 142. So watch out. Nvidia over 130 can definitely run up to 136 easily. And from there, this thing can come up and close this entire gap. Now, if this thing gets a rejection, which it did Friday, 130 does not break and comes back and takes out 126. In that case, definitely this thing can come down back down to 118. So Nvidia, despite all the sell-off here in the market with big names like Microsoft, Apple going down, even Tesla, Nvidia lives on to move higher once again on Friday, and we will see how this thing continues going into next week. And I'll definitely keep you guys updated going into Monday night.